And we're back.
Dun, dun, dun. Thank the light, everyone. I am Desmond, and this is my wolf brother,
Fatty the Chef, Parched Ailman on the Bird app. How you guys doing?
Welcome to our Wheel of Time podcast. We are your true source, the purest light.
The warder for this journey that is going to happen. It's going to be long. It's going to be scary. There are going to be tears if you have any kind of a soul. And we're going to talk about all of it.
You can go home and cry, but the Trollocs are going to get you.
No, dude.
That's why you stay here with us out on the land.
Trollocs like you to cry because you season yourself with tears.
Salty meats.
I love the taste of sadness.
It's so yummy. Happy people are gross.
I had hoped to have a little Wheel of Time news or maybe an interview, but people are being pretty tight-lipped, so I'm going to send you towards the actual agents of some people. Probably Guy first, but then there's some other people that I think would be fun.
Cut me loose on them.
Yeah.
I'm feeling angsty about getting these podcasts to grow. I'm ready to I'm going to stop being polite and start getting real.
I mean, you could just be tenacious and, not like you have, I think some people, especially right now in the infancy of the show, that are really willing to get out there, and they just got to get the okay, because I think, I've heard, as far as news, I've heard that the show could be coming out later this summer, and I've also heard it might come out the next year. So, it's really all over the place. And if it is coming out sooner rather than later, I would understand why they're so tight-lipped about it. Because they're really being careful about spoilers, apparently, as opposed to the first season where I think they kind of wanted it to be a little spoilery.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's Amazon's goal, is to make it as big as Game of Thrones. And I say do it.
Hell yeah. Grow this. Yeah, that'd be, if it came out late this summer, then they would probably do like half a season, then do Lord of the Rings, and then do the second half.
When does Lord of the Rings come out?
I think September.
I bet they'll do it after that. Right around Christmas.
Yeah, I think we're going to get about the same release time again. January at the latest January 1st, but I think the holiday release again is going to be good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think just for anybody who's new or coming back, we're just trying to kind of keep interest up, show you some depth to the characters that we have seen or may seen. Maybe some of the things play out that we're kind of hoping for. At least that's the way I'm kind of picking these clips, trying to wet the whistle, if you will. I don't want to be spoiler-y, but I want to get people, jacked up for it. And so it's really cool to have you who's really doesn't know much as far as as you're going along. So it's I love it when you're like, what is this? Who's this pirate motherfucker?
Thank you, Justin, for just laying out because we were so after the commentaries was I don't know, let's fucking talk about the Wheel of Time. And then Justin started bringing these great clips to kind of get the ball rolling. And I think this is going to be our format for a little while, because, there's not we've only got one season. There's only so much news out there, and we got 14 more books to get through. So who knows how many seasons of the show that'll be. And so, yeah, I think, Justin's just giving us eye dropfuls of the ocean that's about to see that wave at the end of episode 8 that was crashing on the shore. That's what's coming. And Justin's just flicking pickle juice at you.
And it's made of people who love Rand's tears.
God, I bet they're delicious.
Oh, delicious. So just a little backup. We're gonna do another clip today. This clip is it's gonna have a lot of characters in it. Rand's in it, Daughter of the Night, I believe, Landfear. I think there's a couple other Forsaken in it. You're really getting to see Parrin in this same world that is called Tel'aran'rhiod. That usually is a place for channelers. It's you can kind of dream yourself there as a natural talent, or you can kind of channel your way there, which is more dangerous for sure. And it they say it takes a piece of you to enter in the flesh, which is what channeling kind of is. But there are some angrials that just channeling into them pull you into the world of dreams, but you're dreaming there, not entering in the flesh, if that makes sense. Tel'aran'rhiod is the world of dreams. The clip is going to be from The Great Hunt.
Chapter 30?
Yes, Daughter of the Night. We're going to start it at minute 3.
Crazy. It's in here as Deus Demor, which I'm guessing is is tongue for daughter?
Desmond is like Game of Houses. It's like political crap. You'll see in book 2 and 3. It's like one of those things, like everything you do is a thing, even though you're not doing anything.
The Shadow in the Night?
It's chapter 36 in the Dragon Reborn.
The Dragon Reborn, you liar!
What do you mean liar?
You said the Great Hunt.
Oh, sorry, bro.
Lies, all lies!
You said the Great Hunt, you son of a bitch. Jesus.
Okay, now what's the chapter again? Now that I'm on the right book.
So the chapter is Dragon Reborn, Daughter of the Night, chapter 30. We're going to start at minute 3, but I'm going to read kind of the definition of Tel'aran'rhiod, of what it is. So, Tel'aran'rhiod, not found on any map. It's a place you can visit, but no one lives. It's both of this world and apart from it. It is the world of dreams, also known as the unseen world. The pattern is woven men's lives in one reality. Part of a greater pattern is woven in every possible reality, but between the weave of these great pattern are spaces that exist, and that is Tel'aran'rhiod, or known as the world of dreams. Almost anyone can touch this world by accident. You need to dream at all to have a chance of slipping into it. Usually visit when this happened is so brief that you're there and you're out before it even you notice. Unlike a personal dreamscape, however, Tel'aran'rhiod is an actual place with actual danger. If you take a wound while dreaming there, it will still exist on awakening, even though that body never actually entered the world of dream. Those who, quote unquote, die in the normal dreams usually wake, but those who, quote unquote, die in Tel'aran'rhiod never do. The fact is undoubtedly the source of the belief of those who die in their sleeps will never wake, or die in their dreams will never wake, excuse me. The reciprocal action only affects living things, and the waking world is not affected by the actions taken in the world of dreams, so long as they don't involve another living being. So, as to say, if you move something in the world of dreams, it's not going to move in the physical world, unless it maybe has to do with an actual person. So, if you were to enter this world, many glimpse it by accident. Some people are able to do it at will. They're known as dreamwalkers. And a lot of dreamwalkers, they used to think it was like a power talent, but it's not. A lot of the Aiel dreamwalkers who are clan chief or wise ones, are dreamers, but can't channel or can channel very, very little. So it's something that while being a channeler can help you, it's not necessarily a requirement. And that brings me to this. Parrin is a dreamer. He can dream himself there. He has no one power talent, but he's as strong as anyone who can channel there. And I think it's kind of his force of will. It has to do with his connection to the wolves as well.
Are all wolf brothers somewhat dreamwalkers?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. It has to do with the way they communicate and stuff. And like wolves, they go to the wolf dream, which is also Tel'aran'rhiod, to wait to be reborn in the pattern.
Night vision, folks.
It's pretty cool at the end, man. You get some like, parents running with the wolves in the world of dreams. And it's like pretty surreal, pretty cool to see if they try to tackle that. It's going to be pretty, God, I can't even think of something that would be like it, fighting in the sky, just crazy. Pretty cool. So here we go. Chapter 36, Daughter of the Night. And this is just some World of Dreams stuff.
A swirling in the grayness. Something coming his way. He tensed, wondering if it was better to run or stand and fight with his bare hands. Wondering if there was anything to fight. The wolf hesitated, then came to stand beside him. It was Hopper, he was certain. He laid a hand on the wolf's back, and as he did, Hopper started forward. He let himself be led. It felt real. It struck him that he had heard nothing either, not even the sound of his own footsteps. He wiggled his toes and was relieved to feel the boots on his feet. He tried closing his eyes for a moment and could not tell any difference. There was still no sound. His hand felt the rough hair of Hopper's back, but he was not sure he could feel anything under his boots. He looked around and snapped his eyes shut. He could tell a difference now and feel something too. A queasy twisting of his stomach. He made himself open his eyes and look down. What he saw could not have been there, not unless he and Hopper were standing in midair. He could see nothing of the wolf or himself, as if neither had bodies at all. But below him, as clear as if lit by 1,000 lamps, stretched a vast array of mirrors. Suddenly, he could hear their voices as well as if he had been standing among them. "Great Lord," one of the men muttered. "Where is this place?" He looked around once, flinching at his image cast back at him many thousandfold, and held his eyes forward after that. "I am asleep in Tarvalon. Where is this place? Have I gone mad?" While some seemed to be naked, or in their small clothes. "I too sleep," a naked man nearly screamed. "In Tyr, and I do sleep in Ilion."
They've been brought there by someone else. Parrin has stumbled
"I
across
know that I
this.
do dream, but that does be impossible. Where does this be, great lord? Are you really come to me?" There was light everywhere down there, coming from nowhere. But this man below Parrin seemed cloaked in shadow. Darkness rolled around him, caressed him. "Silence!" The black-cloaked man did not speak loudly, but he had no need to. His eyes and mouth were holes boring into a raging forge fire, all flame and fiery glow. Parrin knew him then. Baalzamon. He would have run, but he could not feel his feet. Something real. Something more real, he hoped, than what he saw. But he knew that both were real. The men huddling together cowered. Now and again his eyes and mouth vanished in flame again, and the mirrors flashed with reflected fire. "Those who have been marked for death must die. Those who have been marked for taking must bow to me. To fail the great Lord of the Dark cannot be forgiven." "You all dream," Baalzamon said. "But what happens in this dream is real." The shrieking man was only a bundle of mist shaped like a man, his scream far distant, and then even the mist was gone. "I fear he will never wake. The rest of you will not fail me again. Be gone, wake, and obey." The other men vanished. Then suddenly there was a woman with him, clad all in white and silver. Shock hit Parrin. He could never forget a woman so beautiful. She was the woman from his dream, the one who had urged him to glory. "You make free use of my domain," she said. "Your domain?"
She likes to claim the world of
Baalzamon said.
dreams as her own because she's
"You
very
claim
talented in it.
yours, then? Do you no longer serve the great Lord of the Dark?" "I have served the Lord of the Twilight long. Long did I lie imprisoned for my service in an endless, dreamless sleep. Only gray men in Myrddraal are denied dreams. Even Trollocs can dream. Dreams were always mine.
Trolloc
To
dreams are
use
gross.
and walk. You always thought yourself greater than you were, Lanfear." The name cut at Parrin like a newly honed knife. "Your master claims you forever, Lanfear. Will you serve, or do you choose an eternity of pain, of endless dying without release?"
Ishmael,
I
ever
serve.
dramatic.
"I serve the great Lord of the Dark and none other, forever." Parrin felt Hopper move, and he was more than glad to follow. He tried to puzzle out what he had seen, without any success. Baalzamon and Lanfear. Light, one of the Forsaken in my dreams. Light. And unless he had missed something, she had defied the Dark One. He had been told and taught that the Shadow could have no power over you if you denied it. But how could a Dark Friend, not just a Dark Friend, one of the Forsaken, defy the Shadow? These dreams have driven me mad. Slowly the blackness became fog again, and the fog gradually thinned until he walked out of it with Hopper onto a grassy hillside bright with daylight. "What was that?" he demanded, struggling in his mind to turn the question to thoughts the wolf could understand. "Why did you show it to me? What was it?" Emotions and images flooded his thoughts, and his mind put words to them. "What you must see. This place is dangerous. Be wary as a cub hunting porcupine." That came as something closer to small thorny back, but his mind named the animal the way he knew it as a man. "You are too young, too new. Was it real? All is real. What is seen and what is not seen. Hopper, how are you here? I saw you die. I felt you die.
Spoiler.
All are here. All brothers and sisters that are. All that were. All that will be." Without thinking, he looked around to see if anyone had seen him, and that quickly everything changed. He was standing on a rise with shadowy, indistinct dips and swells all around him. They seemed to fade into the distance too soon. Rand stood below him. Rand in a ragged circle of Myrddraal and men and women his eyes seemed to slide right past. The circle of Myrddraal and people came closer to Rand, all walking as if asleep, and Rand began to kill them. Balls of fire flew from his hands and consumed two. Lightning flashed from above to shrivel others. Bars of light like white-hot steel flew from his fists to more. One by one they died until none were left, and Rand sank down on his knees, panting. Shapes appeared over the rises, more people coming, more Murdral, all intent on Rand. Parrin cupped his hands to his mouth. Rand, there are more coming! Rand looked up at him from his crouch, snarling, sweat slicking his face. Rand, there... Burn you! Rand howled. Light burned Parrin's eyes, and pain seared everything.
So, I have a little bit more from Rand's POV at the same time that show you how they're connected. So, that clip was right before he went to see Moraine, and he wakes up with like a quarter, like a $50 sized, like just burn on his chest. Rand tried to balefire him right there.
Yes. Holy.
And I'm not sure how Parrin's seeing it. Parrin's seeing it in a figurative sense, but Rand is, I think he is, my take on it is he's been traveling, he's running, he's exhausted. And so he's kind of halfway in between waking and asleep. So Parrin's getting this vision of like, he's being hunted like crazy by all of the Dark One's minions. And he's like, they look like zombies and like they're never stopping. And Rand's just burning them out, balefiring them, just boom, boom, boom. And then he collapses because he's exhausted, because using the power is like, it drains you. It's like, my mana is out.
Yeah.
I need a potion.
I need a whole turkey.
Yeah. So Rand, that's from Parrin's point of view. And like, literally just kind of freaking out and being kind of scared. He does balefire Parrin. But once you realize what balefire means, what happens in the world of dreams, and that's just a glimpse of how strong Parrin is in the world of dreams. He's a very strong dreamer, and it definitely has some connection to the wolves. But, Egwene is a very strong dreamer, but Parrin is so much more strong than her. There's a point when like, someone tries to balefire him in a dream, and he just puts his hand out and just dissipates it.
Oh.
And Egwene's like, that you should not exist. He's like, it's just a weave. I just imagined it being unraveled. So what's the big deal?
Talk to the palm.
And she's just like, she's just like, I guess I don't have an answer for you, dude.
You badass.
Okay. So like, and that's some of the coolest stuff with Parrin is the person that we were talking about last episode, Luke and Isom and Slayer. He's also a dreamer. I think he's kind of a wolf brother in his own right, like an evil version type of thing. And he goes through the wolf dream killing wolves, which means they're, they can't be reincarnated. And Parrin gets a little upset about that. He's just not happy about, a little upset. They have some really cool like fight scenes that are kind of like in the, like I said, in like fantastic locations. They'll shift from being in the ocean to the desert to the mountain, and it's like, and they're also like kind of giants, so they can jump like hilltop to hill, not giants, but they can just kind of like, jump. They can almost teleport. Like, I can't even explain. You got to read it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, but it's some really cool stuff.
Parrin basically stumbled upon a meeting of bad dudes.
Sort of like a nightmare of what's happening to Rand.
Right. First he stumbled upon all the bad dudes talking.
He starts, and that's where the Forsaken do a lot of their fucking dirty businesses in the world of dreams. Because you can kind of cross time and space without having to actually make yourself as vulnerable to an attack. If you're there in person, you can be ambushed. And like Lanfear is like, I'll meet you in the world of dreams, because I'll just be like, boop, and like wish myself away from here.
Yeah.
Without even barely thinking about it, So it's going to be really interesting to see how they blend it, because I definitely think it went over some people's heads that Swan and Moraine were in the world of dreams.
Yeah.
I caught that right away. I'm like, they got to be in the world of dreams. They can't travel yet. There's no way. That's a talent that's been lost.
So Tel'aran'rhiod, is that an actual place? Like, is it a place within the dreams, or is just the dream world called Tel'aran'rhiod no matter where you are?
Think Inception, dream within a dream type of thing.
Okay.
Like a regular dream is just a dream, but if you happen to slip into this real dream world, shit can happen to you.
But is it always kind of the same place? Like, is it like when you're in Tel'aran'rhiod, can you recognize it other than it being a dream world, or do you like, oh, there's the castle?
If you're a dreamer, if you're a dreamer, like, yeah, you start to learn like the differences in between a regular dream and the dream world dream. Most people cannot.
But is there any place to it? Like, is there always the castle on the hill in Tel'aran'rhiod, and it's always the lakes over there?
Kind of. It's like a mirror of this world. So if you go to the White Tower's there, you know.
So in theory, anything, you can go anywhere in your dreams.
Yeah, if it exists and you can imagine it, you know of it.
Okay.
You know, and the more that you can't just wish a place and go there. I mean, kind of, because you can create like a dream shard, which is what Ishmael tried to do to Rand, you know, with Egwene and everything. That's kind of a offshoot of Tel'aran'rhiod. It's like, you know, it can be weaponized.
Yeah.
If you will.
You can manipulate it.
Yeah. It's not a place per se. It's like a time outside of time. So like you could trap someone there indefinitely.
Right.
And they'll just, you know, until their physical body dies, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so we haven't even covered what happens to that. I don't even know. It's scary.
And by now, like, how much? So you said Parrin's still like, does he even know, like, at this point from the clip you played, he doesn't have an abundance of control over going in and out, but does he understand what or is this him learning what it is?
Because at this point, he's just accepted that he can fucking talk to wolves.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, okay, I can talk to wolves. That's cool. I'm not gonna like become a man beast and run off into the forest. I got that. I'm learning how to control that and use it to my advantage. And if he's still kind of keeping it under wraps, you know, really, you know, nobody really knows about it. They just know he's got yellow eyes. And so a few people know why he's got yellow eyes, but mostly he just kind of keeps it to himself. Even he starts acting as a sniffer, which is someone who can kind of smell violence or bad things that are done. But his sense of smell is the connection to the wolves, but it can work in a similar fashion, even though it's not the same thing. And so he's just learning how to do like, okay, I can talk to wolves. And then he's like, what is this dream shit? And that's actually why he kind of goes run into the clip I played when he goes run into Moraine's room that we're going to hear.
Oh, so this is the connecting tissue between.
Yeah, he goes directly to Moraine after waking up from this dream. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then goes and lets Gaul out of the cage.
Awesome.
And then I'm just going to fast forward to like I believe it's happening to Rand at the same exact time, even though Rand seems to be awake in this clip. Like I said, I think Parrin's kind of basically, you know, Rand is in that, he's almost like a fugue state in between sleep and awake. Parrin's seeing what he's doing in the real world, but almost as a dramatization or a figurative story. Like it's an interpretation from the wolf dream. And I think, in my opinion, he's not reading it quite correctly, because what Rand's actually going through is something slightly different, but you'll see the similarities as we play the clip.
Sat up out of his exhausted sleep, gasping. The cloak he had used as a blanket falling away. That was Parrin. It was him, not a dream. Somehow, I almost killed him. Light, I have to be careful. There were horses coming, 10 or a dozen of them walking slowly. I have to be careful. I cannot make another mistake. The horses swung toward his failing fire, entered the dim light, and stopped. He had seen her sort among those who came to buy tobacco and wool in the two rivers. A merchant and her guards. I have to be careful, he thought as he stood. No mistakes. You have chosen a good campsite, young man, she said. I have often used it on my way to Reborn. I trust you have no objection to my sharing it.
He's a little paranoid right now.
Her guards were already dismounting, hitching at their sword belts and loosening saddle girths. None, Rand told her, and he leaped into the air, spinning. Thistledown floats on the whirlwind. Heron-marked blade carved from fire, coming into his hands to take her head off before surprise could even form on her face. She was the most dangerous. He alighted as the woman's head rolled from the crupper of her horse. He danced among them in the forms Lan had taught him, and knew he could have killed all 10 with ordinary steel. But the blade he wielded was part of him. The last man fell, and it had been so like practicing the forms that he had already begun the sheathing called folding the fan. I have to be careful, he thought as he looked over the dead. No mistakes. The power still filled him. The flow from Sidene, sweeter than honey, ranker than rotted meat. Abruptly, he channeled, not really understanding what it was he did or how, only that it seemed right. And it worked, lifting the corpses. He set them in a line facing him, kneeling, faces in the dirt. For those who had faces left.
If I channel too much, how will I keep the madness away? Well...
Wheeling the gelding, he dug in his heels and set the animal to a dead gallop into the night. It was a long way to Tyr yet, but he meant to get there by the straightest way if he had to kill horses or steal them. I will put an end to it. The taunting, the baiting. I will end it, Callandor. It called to him.
So Rand's losing his shit a little bit.
Holy. Yeah.
That's a pretty dope clip though, right? Like when he just like, he's like, oh no, yeah, you can share my fire. And then does like a spinning lightsaber pirouette to decapitate her and then kills all 10 other people who are all guards. Like Rand's like, I'm no swords master. Like, yeah, the fuck you are. Because he's like, I think that's kind of when he realized it, even though he's kind of, like I said, he wakes up from not enough sleep going, dude, that was really Parrin. I almost killed him. Like he really realizes it after he wakes up, like, holy shit, dude. Like I gotta be more careful. He's like, I can't just go crazy. He's like, I don't want to be crazy. Because that's Rand's biggest fear in the world is that he's going to hurt the people that he loves.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to be the dragon, but especially like, pretty quickly he doesn't like it, but he accepts it. He accepts it a little too hard at the beginning. It's like, it's cool. I'm going to die, whatever. And then he really starts to kind of read the prophecies and educate himself. And he's like, okay, I may still die, but I got a lot to do and a lot to change before I do. And he gets a lot of stuff done. And then he's like, okay, well, maybe I don't have to die. Maybe there's something else, and then like I said, that's a whole nother part of the story. But, he accepts that like, okay, I got to do this. That's why like he's on a race to get to Callandor right now. He's like, well, once I get to Callandor, at least I'm going to know whether it's the shit or I got a lot more work to do. And, like he's being driven by, like I said, he's in a state of kind of almost, I don't want to say madness because it's definitely not like the Sidene madness. It's more like people are chasing me. I can't sleep or eat properly madness.
Yeah.
Like, the kind of like normal crazy that anybody might go under a large amount of stress. It's not from the power.
I haven't seen Callandor yet, right?
No, Callandor doesn't come in until book 3. Basically the end of it.
What's there?
It is the sword that cannot be touched, and it's in the Stone of Tyr.
Oh, it's a thing.
It's the Tel'aran'rhiod. Remember the Balefire episode we were talking about?
That's right.
It's like, it's got like mad, for lack of a better term, magical traps around it to where only the Loose Theron Reborn can basically just reach in and grab it. And all, the Forsaken all have like plans to kind of like take it from him. And you find out later that there's actually a problem with Callandor that can like, it's like, how do I say this without spoiler? Like it kind of makes, it's like it gives them a lot of strength, but there's also a major weakness. It exposes like if it's the Death Star, it's the fucking vent to get into the reactor,
Who wields me wields destiny. Take me and begin the final journey.
What is that from?
From fandom. I'm just reading Wiki right now.
No, nice.
It could cleave Balefire.
I think at one point he actually does. I could be dreaming this, but it's almost like, like a lightsaber parry, but it splits. That might be Parrin. Parrin does some cool shit in the world of dreams, man. Once he learns.
I'm certain you already said this, but it's basically a thankthelight that just happens to be in the shape of a sword. Yeah,
it's not like, and I think he does kind of fight with it, but it's almost kind of like the sword that he was just channeling. Almost, it's almost like he's channeling through it so hard. It's almost like a lightsaber.
It's like the multiplier, like when you're in a video game and stuff. They're like
totally
like
100%.
You're not actually going to use this knife, but put it in your boot and it'll give your sword plus 12.
That's starting to bring together. Like I really think, and they may kind of like try to work it in more into like less World of Dream stuff, but I really think that I was kind of like, why are they doing World of Dream stuff so early? And it's like, I think they gotta fucking get people ready to deal with like, okay, there's this world, and then, you know, there's the Portal Stones world, and then there's lots of threads in the pattern.
Especially if you got to spend half a season like with people wondering if it's real, if it's not real, am I dreaming, am I not dreaming? Like, we got to start early, so by season 3, Parrin can just be
by season 3, and like kind of actually to go back to your question, you're like, is it a place? Is there a way? Like by season 3, as the viewer, I think if they are doing a good job, we should kind of be able to recognize whether it's because those two characters have a spatial distance and they shouldn't be together, or something's not looking right because of, well, that character's not there, or there should be plenty of clues, I think, to tell you that it's not the actual. For example, I'm like, hey, that's the hut that burned down that she used to live in.
Yeah.
When they're in the World of Dreams, because that's her comfort place. It's easier for her to just fall asleep, dream herself right there. That's their meeting spot.
Yeah.
So, and like, you know, you see that stuff in the books too. So I think it's kind of like traveling. If you don't know, you don't need to know where you're going so much as where you're starting from.
Oh.
Like you can be like, I'm in Seattle and I want to go to Berkeley, but I've lived in Seattle all my life, so that's no problem. But I gotta just pick a random spot outside of Berkeley and I'll be pretty close. And then the more you know it, the more I go there a couple times, like I could travel to your house. Like, well, if I could drive to your house, I could travel to your house. I don't know if that's kind of a bad analogy, but it's like the more you know the places that it's really important to know where you're going from. But it's pretty important to know where you're going to, because if you open a traveling door in the wrong place, you'll just cut someone in half.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, it's like zap, oops, our bad.
Whoa. And can you track a person though? Can you say, I want to go to Desmond? Or has it got to be a position on?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I can't think of an example where it's more like you got to know where they're at. In the World of Dreams, you definitely can. If they happen to be asleep, you can definitely go find their dream if you're talented enough.
So what were you talking about before with the door then? Sorry, I thought you were talking about...
So like if you are in the regular world, it's a talent called traveling with the one power.
Oh.
You can like literally just... the way men travel is different from women.
Okay.
But basically you're opening a hole in the air to step through to someplace else.
And if you open the black hole in the wrong place...
Like say I'm like, man, you know what, Des? I'm gonna travel down there and we're gonna smoke a cigar and have dinner, and I'm gonna show up right there where that picture is in the background, and I misjudge it and I open it where you're at, you're dead. So once they learn how to travel again, they have traveling grounds that are like safe areas that are kind of guarded by people, so no one just accidentally fucking blows someone up. Like, shit!
Wow,
killed your horses.
And what if two?
Yeah.
And then, and you gotta have it on a train time schedule. What if two people jump at the same moment? That's not good either.
Oh shit! You know what? They have different traveling times. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, I think. I think the way they kind of cover that is that not all channelers are strong enough to travel. So
it's
usually
not
if someone's traveling,
too
it's
much.
Like this is so and so's traveling ground. So if they happen to do it at the same time, whoopsie doopsie. But
oopsie,
I think it's just my bad. But so like I said, you're seeing like the connection between the World of Dreams and like, I don't want to say clairvoyance, and it's not really time travel per se, but it's like it's really a way of almost communicating, or something. It's like it's definitely a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Does anyone like bad dudes are using it to have their evil lair meetings? Like do
yeah, I know, right?
Do couples just like hang out and like have midnight sex? Like, can you just like, does anyone ever actually use it just to chill, or is it people getting sucked in for battles? Or
not really. Usually it's people who are have knowledge of the place. So, and also the heroes of the Horn are that's where they hang out as well when they're waiting. Bad
dudes like to get down.
No, actually, I think there's a couple of times when someone's like, they're walking around a corner and then someone's just standing there naked or something. And they're like, and then they disappear. You know, it's like someone dreamed themselves there by accident. So, I mean, I'm sure probably, you know what, probably some of the bad guys do their dirty work there. You know, some of them are kind of nasty asses. But for the most part, I think it's just, you know, evil leader meeting type shit.
Are there wolf sisters? Or is it just a dude thing? Just a dirty boy dog?
You know, that's a really good question. As far as I know, there's like, you meet up with 3 people and they're all men who are wolf brothers, but I don't think it's a gender specific thing, but I would have to look into that. Well, and it's like the way the wolf communications come through are kind of like, it's not like the wolf goes, hey, Parrin, you need to go over here. Yeah. It's like he gets like a vision, or, you know, like they have names for like hard forefoot is like a horse, or, you know what I mean? Like, oh, the men with the hard skins are like, you know, men who are wearing
like
armor.
A dog would think of it, just like the big loud fuckers.
You know, like they don't have the same words for it. So, you know, like I said, the clip we just listened to is Parrin at his like, okay, I'm comfortable with this. The Hopper's my wolf guide, my spirit guide. What is this like dreamland that I'm getting? And, you know, he just starts to explore and learn, like, you know, the more he learns, the more he kind of realizes he can do because of the wolves. And then he starts to meet up with the Aiel, the wise women there, all of their kind of women who are in charge of their villages or whatever, their wise ones can dream. And that's how they communicate over long distances in the waste, because they can't always travel because such harsh conditions and stuff like that. So Parrin learns that more stuff from them and like becomes really strong because of it.
Well, as usual, I'm speechless, and I just want to get back to the story and start getting through these books so I can get to more stuff. So I can, I'm
just a little teaser for what's coming up. I think the next episode I'm going to set up is going to be about Lanfear. I'm going to try to find a really good clip because I got a couple of weeks to do it. Or I might find a couple of small ones, because what I want to lead into after Lanfear's episode is a talent called Compulsion, which you could probably guess what that is.
Yeah.
I put a spell on you and make you do what I want to. And so she's really adept at that as well. And so I kind of want to tie those two together. And so you got a lot of shit going on. You have a 6-year-old, so.
I do, but this is what I like doing, and I want to make it pay, and if I'm going to make it pay, I got to be fucking good at it. If I'm going to be good at it, I got to try a little bit. So
all in, baby.
I love this show. Everyone out there, I fucking love this show. I'm loving the books. I'm loving the fucking, it's
overwhelming, dude. It's a lot.
I'm so happy. I just have, I have a lot going on, and I'm glad. Like, this is one of the reasons I do podcasts. Cause like, if I don't do podcasts, I don't have an excuse to tell my family to fuck off because I gotta read a book or watch a show or something like that. Like, that's why I have movie and show.
You do podcasts? No, I just do a couple hour therapy sessions with my friends a couple times a week. We record it and then we put it out for everybody to listen to. It's super great. That's how I do stuff.
Exactly. I try to look up exactly where I am in the book just to let me see. So I'm on 22, A Path Chosen. So I'll be finishing up that chapter.
Okay, so you're getting, that's probably almost halfway.
I'm definitely over halfway. Oh, and the next chapter, very long chapter, Wolf Brother. So that's good.
Nice. So everybody's leaving shit out of Logoth. You're probably, Egwene and Parrin are by themselves. They're about to run into Elias if they haven't already.
That's what I do have a book thing. Fucking...
Oh, God, your eyes just got all crazy. God, I can't wait for this.
God, Egwene and Moraine around the campfire just getting in. Is it Egwene or I fucking... No, it's Nynaeve.
Nynaeve kind of getting into a little, like, argument.
Holy shit. Like, yeah, like, because, like, in the show, like, she pushes back a little bit. She's like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, she is just...
She's not scared. Oh, you could channel? I don't care. I'll fucking punch you in the face. Like, she doesn't give a shit.
If Lan wasn't there, Moraine would have to fucking knock her out with some fucking magic.
You see Lan knocking her out, but in the book, it's kind of more like she's more likely to almost take a knife to the Moraine. Like, she hates Moraine at first because she's like, dude, you disrupted my life. You stole these kids that, like, Nynaeve is the wisdom, so she's definitely got that kind of like, you just fucked up my whole village. all my whole people and you ruined everything. You Trolloc's like, what the fuck? So she's very angry, dude. Her motivations to channel and to become Aes Sedai first are mostly like she wants to protect and like kind of be there for Egwene, especially when she decides to go to the tower. But a lot of it's like, not revenge, because it's not like she wants to kill Moiraine, but it's like, she's like, I'm going to fucking get you someday. Like, I don't even know how to explain
and
it.
she's so, for someone who has powers, like, okay, Nynaeve doesn't think she has the power, but she obviously like has powers.
She's denial. She's in fat denial.
Oh my God. She just thinks Moiraine is a fucking charlatan and full of shit and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, dude.
That's where you're seeing the like book Nynaeve. It's like, easy, dude.
Like,
you're a smart lady. If you have a half a brain, you're the same.
Put it together. Like, you don't have to like Moiraine. Like, she's a little off-putting. That's cool. But like,
Nynaeve just goes, man, my herb poultices are just the shit. Man. Like, dude, what's up, dude? Like, oh man, I got that bomb poultices.
I like the effect that people Nynaeve have healed, especially seriously healed. Like, she has an extra connection to those people. Like, she has like left her power in them and they've given her some power and they're like connected through the wheel forever now. Yeah,
depending on like the type of healing and the magnitude of it, I feel like and like if there's a connection between the people, it's like, and it's not like the bond, but I kind of just feel like it's like, I think it's an empathic thing more than anything. That's why I think it's strong in Nynaeve, because one of the things that really brings out her need to heal is because she gets so mad as people are stabbing men and their swords and that's how she, like, dude, she gets kind of ridiculous sometimes to like make herself mad enough to channel. They're just like even Egwene's just like, come on, dude,
you could have just wanted to do that.
It's like, I can channel, can you just tell me what to do? And then he's like, no, because it's just instinct and I just do it. It's so stupid. No, like I said, dude, I really like that they're kind of toning. So like, you're still getting the picture. Nynaeve's got some spunk, but
yeah,
it's like, you see, like, that's one of them. It's like, Jesus Christ.
We do not want to spend 2 fucking seasons on Nynaeve.
Hey, why don't you settle down and tug your braid for a couple episodes?
Totally. Thank the light, everybody. Holy mackerel.
Fatty talks a lot. Holy shit.
This is he's doing his job. He's getting me excited. I hope he's getting you excited. If there's anything, if you're a show person, tell me what you're getting excited about. If you're a book person, tell us what you want us to talk about. If you're a game person, for God's sakes, contact us. thankthelight@gmail.com. That is thankthelight@gmail.com, or hit Fatty up at Wolf Brothers at Parched on Twitter. We want you to come on here and talk about the game. That's what we want.
Yeah, we got to find a way to play through the game, or maybe we'll watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think coming up, we should take a break from these and we'll get Jeremy on and we'll do maybe a watch of the Winter Dragon and then the recut, and just kind of be like, that was cool, or I don't get it, or what the fuck, bro.
Where's Billy Zane?
We should, and Billy Zane is amazing in the recut. It was much better. He's great. I laughed at the first incantation of him, but. And then there's a fan edit. I don't know if it's an episode by episode thing or if they're trying to cut the whole first season into like a movie type thing. But I think that would be fun to check out too.
Absolutely. Yeah. More video content is great for us. Let me see. Oh, and if you like other podcasts, check out whatsoundsawesome.com. That is whatsoundsawesome.com. We got Time Pop on there. We're watching time travel movies. We got some new hotness on there. We just watched The Atom Project.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty cool. We got dozens of movies on there. Have you seen The Atom Project?
Yeah, I cried a little bit.
Yeah.
Texted my son right after. I love you. So proud of you. You're a good boy.
Oh my God. Everyone out there, my 6-year-old brought me a stuffed animal because I was crying so hard. He brought me a stuffed animal to make
Can you
me
please
feel
stop crying? You're the adult.
I need you to take care of me.
No, please. Oh God, is he giving up? No. I really liked it. I mean, I love Ryan Reynolds and I thought it was a good story too. So
it's a lot of fun. So you can check out our podcast on that. And also, if you're down with badass women, check out the Be Brave podcast. Kara and Patty just keep on, like, it's such a great show. And I keep thinking, like, oh, this has been a fun ride. Like, they're going to run out of people with crazy stories like this, and they just keep coming. And it's just an awesome story of awesome women kicking ass. It'd be
That's
awesome.
the thing. If you get your podcast big enough, it does itself. You know, we listen to that true crime one, and they're like, we have so many cases backed up to do now. Like, cool. Like, it's like we just gotta type it in and research it now. We don't have to search for the actual cases.
Yeah.
You know, it's like kind of seems like that same thing. It's like, God, you guys, you know, oh wow, and then it just keeps kind of snowballing. So
just like this show, the episodes are going to keep coming. I'm going to keep reading. You're going to keep sending questions out there. That's what you're going to do.
Goddamn right. Dude, and also, what was the other podcast? You got All the Answers. That's a good one too, man. I just started listening to that. I'm totally down to go on it. I have alien questions. So
yeah, definitely. There's a, I'll lead you towards some other alien stuff on there. So that'll be
okay. My question is, like, I want to, like, was I having super bad nightmares and night terrors, or is this some shit? And, you know, I want to talk about, I was such a sickly little kid and everything. And then all of a sudden I'm 6'3" and.
Oh, it wasn't the mailman. It was the alien.
No, I don't know. Let's find out. Let's fucking find out.
She'll be nice about it, but she'll give you some shit for the pot smoke because it makes her job harder.
Oh, really?
She's got to dig through all that fucking smoke to get to to get to the light.
Fair enough.
So she always, like, even me, like, she knows if I've had a cigar in the last month. Like, she's just like, all right, I'm gonna need an extra minute here, Des.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Uh-oh.
Just
Maybe
to warn,
not.
like
Maybe
I
I'll
said,
wait.
she's super sweet about it. She doesn't judge, but she'll just tell you straight up. All right, on that note, everyone, may you always find water and shade.
Yep. See you later, Wetlanders. Peace, favor your swords. We'll see you soon.
I am not average, I am not ordinary, I am a masterpiece, you know I do it for me, I am not perfect, no that's imaginary, but I'm a masterpiece, you know I do it for me, and all my colors and paints, all my lines and my shapes, every move that I make, I am not basic, it's self-explanatory, I am a masterpiece, you know I do it for me. Just the way I like it, yeah.
Mixed and edited by Desmond McNeese for We Mixed It, LLC. Go to whatsoundsawesome.com.
Baby.